So we're good. This is the Chi community meeting from February 14, 2022. And there are no releases today and only two topics on the agenda. So, Elia, it's your turn.
So folks, you might have known that we are having the list of articles for upcoming releases related to dev workspaces. So one of the blog posts that we're going to publish this week is already out. And in order to have this in place, we need two things. So first of all, we need the docs approval before Wednesday. So Fabrice, will you be able to review the blog post by that time? I already pinged you folks on the Shadows Slack. So just wondering, what is your plan with the review?
So the review, it's Yana. It will be our very first task in the Che world. It will be to review this blog post. So I gave the task to her today, and tomorrow it's happening tomorrow, basically, and we'll see. That's our first contribution to the project. So welcome, Yana.
Yeah, that's great. But I just wondering. So, do we have some ETA for the review? Because if we are going to publish it on Hump Day, then we need to get a review before this, right? So
Yeah.
if we need more time, then we can shift it. I don't know, next Monday.
Yana just joined the call, so that's perfect. For the blog reviews, we just do, you don't test, we just do a language review. So I believe that's fine. She should be able to manage it in one day. But I will keep you posted tomorrow end of day. It depends if there are blocking things on the road, but I guess. Let's see. That's our first contribution, so I don't know. I hope it's okay.
Okay. Yeah. So please just let us know, because if we will not get the review like tomorrow, then we'll need to reschedule the posting time, right? So that is the first thing. So we need a review from the docs team. I already did both verification and the language review, so I approved the pull request, so +1 from my end. The only thing that is currently missing, and that I wanted to discuss with you folks, there is a situation with the pull request plugin and the limitation of the OS apps on the chain incubator repository. Technically, it's not possible to approve the pull request from the IDE, so find the details in the review. It's mostly a question to Florent and Mario. So folks, what do you think? Can we disable this OS app access restriction for chain incubator? Because otherwise, this flow will not work for this particular work.
And this restriction is only on Chi Incubator, or you have this same stuff on other repositories or other org?
I'm not sure about all the other orgs. For sure, we have this for Share.org and for Chain Incubator. I think that it shouldn't be the case for regular repository. We can check it, but even if there are restrictions, right? Even if there are restrictions by default, so this means we will not be able to showcase the GitHub pull request review flow with the regular settings. So it's kind of strange, right?
And it's in the current OS provider. that we set up on GitHub, Archie Incubator?
Yeah, so we are using different OS app provider for example, for Workspaces, OpenShift.com, but it's the same OS provider. I think we use it for the dog fooding. This is the one we use like internally, but it doesn't really matter because this. So last time we discussed where we should have the source code for the sample that we're going to showcase. So we decided it's going to be like Incubator, probably the best project, and we're going to use it like both on Workspaces, OpenShift.com, and dog fooding internally. So it could be different scenarios. Even this scenario when someone deploys TRW on their own infrastructure and runs through this SOP for pull request review.
So yeah, I think we should be able to change that. But I was thinking that only the dog fooding instance was using the Chi Incubator OS app. But,
yeah, that's true. That's true because on for example, Workspaces OpenShift.com, OS is set up for I think Red Hat developer, not Chain. So I mean the secret, right, with the access key. So for dog fooding, yeah, it's true. So we decided to set up it for Chain Incubator, but for Workspaces OpenShift.com for developer sandbox, we use Red Hat developer org. But it doesn't seem to matter in this case, right?
So I don't know. Do we have an action plan for the question at the end?
I also have a few questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Yana, please go. Right.
I checked the document, and probably the main question is, well, just for you to understand, I come from a journalistic and a little bit of copywriting background. The blog post has a very sort of friendly, informal style. Is that something that you want to keep? I mean, I suppose yes, right?
Yeah, I mean, the main goal of the blog post is not only like to have in the blog post, but eventually the documentation team is going to transform it into the real product documentation. I don't know how it's going to work actually, so it's up to Fabrice to decide like the exact procedure, but you might have noticed that we are, for example, reusing the placeholders, so we don't place like the project or product name. We have a placeholder like prod short, which stands for Eclipse Chat or already Workspaces, depending on the context, right? So the main goal is basically to have the blog post and have it eventually transformed to the documentation of the product and project by the documentation team. So to answer your question, like about the style thing, if you think that some styles are not acceptable or they will be problematic to remove from the blog post during the transformation to the actual project or product documentation, then yeah, you should provide suggestions.
Fabrice, if I understand it correctly, the moment we transform it, it's going to be quite formal, right? Like it's going by the IBM style, and it's sort of very dry, very functional.
It's dry and functional, but they call it conversational style, you know? So
I know, but IBM
that's
conversational style is
very
not.
formal, yes, and
Yeah.
the blog post is more relaxed. Right? It's on the blog post we are filtering for for English, so mainly
Okay.
for grammar and English,
Okay.
and we are not so formal. And
Okay.
one
Can
of
I
the
just
goal,
tighten it up a
yeah,
little bit where I see the opportunity? Perfect. Just so that you know
Absolutely.
what's gonna be happening when I add some comments and some possible changes. Okay. I was also wondering, because that's actually something that's in the very beginning. It says, as long as you're using a supported web browser like Google Chrome, what are the other ones?
Yeah, so
Mozilla
we have
Firefox.
the Google Chrome full support, plus I think we have a minimal Firefox in place. So, but it's like kind of, project limitations. We have an issue for example, Safari support, but neither project nor product work against Safari.
Mm-hmm. Or Fabrice, do you think that maybe it's going to be better if we have a little meeting tomorrow where I give you these questions, which I guess you will be able to answer?
I can do that, yes.
Okay, good. Then the contents I will discuss with Fabrice. And yeah, it looks like very nicely written. I think that I'm just going to tighten it up a little bit to make it like flow even better. And the big work then is going to be the transformation, because that's also going to be like basically changing the style quite a bit. That's something that is like that's gonna be done. That shouldn't be really much of a problem. Okay, guys, you continue.
Thanks, Jana. Yeah, much appreciated for the effort. So you can apply suggestions to the pull request, and just for the context, the actual transformation to the real docs is kind of after the blog post is published. So
I know. I
first
figured
step is
to have it
first step
there,
we
and then it's gonna get transformed.
absolutely. And just for follow up, we have in this blog post we have an issue published into Mario created it, and in the table you should be able to find the link to the actual Jira that that is meant to be done for the transformation. First of all, we have the blog post published, and then there is a Jira for transformation into the actual docs, which is out of the scope of this topic. Right?
Perfect. Thank you.
Most welcome. Thank you. And so I think that we pretty much discussed the review process, but about the actual problem with OS restriction. So for on Mario, what do you folks think?
I've just approved the permission asked for Codedy Workspaces on Developer Sandbox. I don't know if this is the only permission that you wanted to have, or you want to remove the restriction for any OS provider.
I think that probably it would be better so unless there are some particular security concerns I'm not aware of, I would probably allow it for pretty much any OS app, because I mean it's chain incubator project, it's open for so it's obviously open sourced, and the only folks that can commit and contribute with their GitHub tokens are the committers, right? So I don't see any violations.
It's just that it's the application that can act as a member then. So
Mhm.
some application will do something using the token of the user.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, for me, what is important probably that it would work for Workspaces OpenShift.com, because in this blog post we provide both dev file version 1 and dev file version 2. So that, you know, even now even though the article is for dev workspace engine, user will be able to try it even now on workspacesoffice.com. So for me, it's the most important part. So yeah, we can probably enable it only for one app. But my point is that if someone will deploy Eclipse Chair on their own infrastructure and will try the very same steps on their own instance, I think it will fail with the same. So the approval step will fail, but maybe it's fine. Maybe it's okay that it's example app and they will get Chair incubator organization has enabled app restriction. Pretty clear that you will not be able to approve it. But if you have your own repository, you should be able to set.
Okay, I don't have any. I mean,
Okay, I mean, let's make it work for workspacesoffice.com, and that would be enough, I think.
okay, so this is done.
Thank
You
you.
need to check.
Yeah, I will check and ping you.
Cool. Then next topic is a very short one. I'm on PTO the last day of February, so I wanted to ask here what's the preferred way to handle this. There is one possibility is to give the moderator token to the next team. That would be Elias. Or the other option is to give the moderator token to one of my colleagues, to Max or Yana. Is there any preference?
Yeah, for me, it would be better if you handle it to someone from the docs team. I would start my moderation from the March 4th. Unless there is no one else available in the docs team, I can jump in and moderate also the 28th.
I will ask this week and I will let you know. So no, I know your preference. That's good. And there is nothing else on the agenda. Does someone want to add something else?
Hello everyone. So Fabrice, just want to let you know if someone will have some questions about the moderation process, just ask me and I will help.
Yes, and you were very helpful. So I believe then we can wrap up and end this call. We'll stop the recording.